Hello to all my dear friends out in Maryland's beautiful 8th Congressional District. It's your Congressman, Jamie Raskin, coming to you this Friday, May 27th, 2022, at the launch of our Memorial Day weekend with a remarkable local hero who is Sharon Jacko, who is the chair of the Frederick County Veterans Advisory Council. She was in the Marine Corps for 26 years. She retired as a lieutenant colonel in 2008. She had extraordinary experiences, including being the Marine Corps coordinator for the Military World Games in Croatia, the second largest sporting event in the world after the Olympics. She volunteered for duty in Iraq, traveled to the Middle East 7 different times while on active duty. And one of the most satisfying positions she ever held was that of commanding officer of a company of 350 Marines. After retirement, Sharon traveled to Afghanistan and became president of Women of Project, a not-for-profit dedicated to restoring hope and dignity and empowerment to Afghan women and children. In Maryland, she was asked to help develop the Renewal Center, a retreat center for injured veterans. In addition, she served as interim CEO at Harvey House, an agency that serves the needs of domestic violence victims in Frederick County. She's an active member of the Rotary Club of Carroll Creek, vice chair of United Way of Frederick County, and vice chair of the Literacy Council of Frederick County. Sharon was nominated as a local hero to me by many people that I know and trust in Frederick County. I have not met Sharon before, but Sharon, I'm so thrilled about the amazing work that you've done for us, not just in Frederick County in Maryland, but all over the world. It's really an amazement, and congratulations on being our local hero.
Thank you, Congressman Raskin, and it's an extreme pleasure to meet you.
So please tell us about the state of the veterans that you work with. We know that mental and emotional health has been a big issue with a lot of veterans upon their return from Iraq and Afghanistan. What's your general sense of how people are doing now?
COVID has I think, had a lot of veterans take a step back, unfortunately. But through the Veterans Advisory Council, we get to address some of the needs that our veterans in Frederick County, 17,000 of us, that we're facing. I want to point out that women veterans, that the demographic profile of veterans is changing, and the women veterans is the reason why, and it's the fastest growth among veterans. And currently there's about 11% women, and in a short few years there's going to be 18%. And why I mention this is the rate of help for the veteran, the woman veteran, is not meeting that growth, and we're trying to address that. One of the things that we think need to change is that civilian doctors should become familiar with the intricacies of a veteran and the different needs of their medical health. So another thing in Frederick County that we're proud of doing is we're trying to raise awareness of counting veterans. And when I say counting veterans, we can go to the VA, we can go and get numbers all over the United States, and in the world, in fact, and get those numbers, but it doesn't paint a true picture. And so we're trying to get folks that do count people, like the homeless, to include, have you ever served in the military, and include them in those counts. And then I think a lot more care and a lot more services can become available to our veterans here in Frederick if we have those numbers.
Tell us, if you would, about the Renewal Center. I wasn't aware of it, but it's a retreat centered for injured vets, right?
Well, yes, and it was a 2-year project, and Congressman Bartlett was intimately involved with that. Unfortunately, we couldn't obtain the property at the last minute, so that Renewal Center did not become a real thing, if you would, but out of that, other things have developed that we're very proud of because
I
of our
see.
work on that.
Okay, yeah, I thought I was somehow negligent in not knowing about it. And so, well, thanks for your work in trying to do that. One of the things that you have been working on as CEO is the Harvey House, which deals with domestic violence. And how did you get into that? Was that an offshoot of the work you'd been doing with veterans?
No, and that was again, that was in 2012, 2011 and 12. But no, that I was on the board of at the time, and they had asked, we needed a at the time the CEO was leaving, and they had asked if I would step in, and it was approximately 2 years then that I was the interim CEO. And it was very much like work of empowering women that I did in Afghanistan with the women and children over there. So it was, it was near and dear to me.
Yeah. Well, that was the last thing I wanted to ask you about, Sharon, which is the story of what's happened in Afghanistan is shocking and depressing at the end. But I know that there were tremendous strides that women and girls were making before the Taliban takeover. What's your sense of what's taking place now, and how has it informed your view of what we're working on in the United States?
Unfortunately, and just within the last, I believe it was 2 weeks, the Taliban enforced the burqa, where the woman being totally covered up. That had, once I saw that, I knew the Taliban weren't serious about educating women any longer, and they're regressing. We're going to lose another generation of women because of this. It's very sad. It was when this happened, it was I was so numbed. And we're currently here in Frederick trying to bring Afghan refugees here to Frederick. So we have hope for everyone over there, but right now I'm at a loss for words. I really am.
It's a tough time. Well, from the work I've done in this in Congress, it seems like all of the economists agree that the key to fighting poverty around the world is to empower women and to give women control over their own fertility, control over their own, reproductive agency. And of course, a fanatical group like the Taliban is going to set women and girls back by
Absolutely.
denying them equal educational opportunities and control over their own bodies and reproductive
Absolutely.
lives. Well, look, you're a hero to us for everything that you've done for veterans and everything you've done for women and girls, everything you've done for the people of Frederick County. What a thrill it is to meet you. And for this Memorial Day weekend, Sharon, you are our local hero. So thanks for everything you do.
Thank you, Congressman Raskin.